Now it's the packed portions cooking week. I did drop out in college and my armpit. Like, I feel it in the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. I've never felt. Oh my gosh, you got it! Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is an exciting week because it is a new week, happy Monday, but it is also the start of the first ever event, Packed Portions Cooking Week. So that should be pretty exciting, a lot of opportunities for us to hopefully hit M20. But I think I didn't really prep because unlike the Spring Fest where we knew it was a salad week, this time it's unknown what I'm gonna get, so I had a little bit of a hard time prepping. I'm hoping for anything but dessert, to be honest. My dessert ingredients are not really thriving right now, so curry or salads would be good. But let's see what we got for the last day in the tundra and if we see anything interesting. I didn't really catch anything interesting during our time apart, so no shinies or anything. Oh my god, that kind of made my heart skip because the red is so bright and different from everything else that I thought it was a shiny. But let's see, a lot of blues, a lot of beige, and then we got that bright red shiny bravery. And this is a new sleep style. So this is preening sleep. Preening is when they pluck their feathers. And whenever I hear about that, I'm like, damn, that sounds like it hurts. But then it's like, we pluck our eyebrows and armpits, so not that different, right? But I got all the sleep styles for bravery now, so we're done with that. Oh, and a new sleep style for Glaceon. The bird Pokemons tend to not be my favorite, so bravery is definitely like on the lower end of what I like as Pokemon design. And I got a 2-star sleep style for Glaceon, so I'm only missing the 3-star and 4-star now. But in terms of who I'm gonna give my biscuit to, who shall it be? So Sfeel is hungry, and that is it. So I think I'm gonna just give it to Sfeel. I haven't even purchased any cookies as well since the last time we've met, so I'm still very cookie poor. Oh my god, my lips are a little dry, so let me moisturize that. In case you're wondering, Summer Friday, it's expensive, so I only get this during the sale, okay? Is it worth buying at full price? I don't know. But I must say, out of all the other lip balms and glosses, this is the one that gives the nicest sheen on my lips that I like compared to other things. Like, this is a dedicated lip gloss, but I feel like it doesn't give this shine. Like I just ate something greasy type of shine, you know? And I like the smell. I have one in mint as well. Alright, so that should be it. Let's finish this up. You know how there's like many recession indicators, is that the term that people use to indicate whether or not we're going to be entering a recession? Let's do Sfeel. Growing up I heard that when a girl's skirt hem shortens, that's one indicator. Other indicators are like when women or when people get their nails done in a very clean classic shape. So no polish, no crazy lengths or anything. And another is lip balm. So let's see, is this feel any good? It's a hasty. I don't think that's good. Alright, but let's see. Energy recovery bonus, helping speed S, that is good. Inventory ingredient finding M, not really needed. Inventory up S, and then inventory up L. Yeah, so this is actually very not good. We're gonna send that out for candy. But I hope you guys have been doing well on your weekend because now it's the packed portions cooking week. So I didn't really do much last week. I chilled in the tundra just to like bump the area bonus, but in terms of gathering ingredients, I did the best that I could without any, insight on what I'm gonna get this week. So just a reminder that dishes gained will be multiplied by 1.5, which is a great time to try to aim for M20 to get that elusive sub-skill seed. I always thought it was a main skill seed, I think. I get confused, but it's a sub-skill seed. And Pokemon with the ingredient specialty will gather extra ingredients. And it is happening in all areas, but along with this is the introduction of the Mawile Pokemon that's coming to the game. So, because of that, I have an idea of where I'm gonna go, but just a reminder of the bonuses that are happening. Your cooking pot will be 50% larger, or 200% if it's Sunday. So that's a huge cooking pot. For new players, try as best as you can to just have ingredient magnet Pokemon to get you as many ingredients as you can. Vaporeon is a really great one because of the amount of times it triggers throughout the day. But the Kanto starters are really good as well, especially because they're ingredient finding Pokemon, so they'll excel with the bonuses here. Pokemon recover 5 additional energy from the dishes, so that is great. Your healer can recover a little sooner, so you could use that slot for something else. Main skill ingredient magnet S and ingredient draw S will have a 1.5 times multiplier on the effect, which is really great. So even better if it's a skill type specialty Pokemon, since skill specialty Pokemon double trigger. Final strength from dish gains, we've already seen that. Each time a helper Pokemon with the ingredient specialty brings you an ingredient as it regularly would, it will bring you one extra ingredient. There's also the limited time mini candy boost function that will be available. I highly recommend this for newer players to use only up to level 30. Maybe on a Pokemon that will unlock a ingredient that you need, or just so that you can get more ingredients of that type that you need. So for example, if you have like a double sausage Charmander or maybe a mono sausage, as long as you unlock it to level 30, you're gonna be gathering a lot more ingredients than you would if you didn't get to level 30. Over level 30, I would not consider using this, but it's great for Pokemon under level 30. And lastly, a few Pokemon of different sleep types will appear regardless of your sleep style of that day. So just a reminder which area is favorable to us. I like that it's bolded on which areas Mawile will be at, because Mawile is the new Pokemon for this week. But we are not going to go to Greengrass. The spawn pool is big, and some of the Pokemon we're not really needing. Old Gold Power Plant, I haven't been there in 2 months now. Oh my gosh. And it does seem tempting because of Sprigatito, I would love a mono potato one. Everything else though, I don't know. Compared to Topalo, where there's Charmander, and I still am on the lookout for a mono sausage Charmander. Although now with Expert Mode coming out, you have a bit more leniency when it comes to catching Pokemon that aren't mono ingredient Pokemon. But my Charmanders right now aren't mono, so I do want to get a mono sausage one. I also want to get a better Wooper, and then obviously the Mawile. So for that reason, we are going to go to Topalo. So let's choose our next campsite. We're going to say goodbye to this Snorlax. And the area bonus is going up, so it's at 64 now. And then maybe after this event, I'm just going to continue raising the area bonus of every other Pokemon. Remember when Murkrow was coming out and like there was that whole hoopla about Darkrai? Everyone was like, oh my god, I'm going to go to Snowdrop Tundra and like prepare. And then it's like, prepare for what? Because what really did happen? I got an F grade and the Asian in me is like cringing. Fun fact, coming from an Asian household, I was expected to excel in school, okay? Especially being firstborn, the weight was on my shoulders. So I did really good in school, but I got really humbled in university because that was the first time I got like a 60% or something on a midterm, and I was so stressed. I cried and I questioned whether or not I deserved to be in university, and I was like, oh my god, should I drop out? Because I did drop out in college in one moment of my life. I did drop out in college, and then I worked, and then a year later I went back into college and then went to university. But yeah, university, that really humbled me, and seeing that F is like, wow, it still makes me feel a certain way, you know. But I got an F because there was this one period during the week that just passed where my sleep tracker turned off. Well, not turned off, it ran out of battery. So that was my bad. I always forget because it has such great battery life that I tend to forget to recharge it. I think I only need to recharge it like once a month. Maybe not even that. Maybe like once and a half month. But the area bonus here is 69, so we are definitely going to have the opportunity to raise the area bonus, so I'm excited about that. And Master 17, it's teeny tiny for you guys to see, but Master 17 is the highest I've gotten at Topalo. So we are going to see whether or not we're going to meet a new record. And there's new sound here. It's been that long since I've been here. So let's see, please not dessert. Oh, it's curries and stews. Okay, that is very good. Very favorable for us. We got a 100% sleep score and stamp card. We got diamonds. And let's get into the dailies. So let's pick up everything. I have Cortado out here because I was like, okay, maybe I'll need coffees because it could land on a dessert week. But even if I don't use it for desserts, I could still use it for the other dish types. So we got pot expander from Maxwell, so that's a lot of pot space we have, and as you can see, my ingredients are hovering around 430. So let's see how painful cooking will be. Can I even make anything? Oh, I'm 3 away from being able to make the hidden perk up stew. I can't even make the Inferno corn keema, so that kind of sucks. My objective would be to be able to make these 2 dishes up here. And I think as long as I'm able to make them at least once a day, I think I can hit Master 20. I don't know. But let's do the ninja curry since we have nothing else. And let's just dump all the ingredients that we don't need to use. So the dessert favored ingredients. And cacao. Let's do cacao. I don't think I need oil for this week either, so that will be used as filler. But yeah, who shall I swap out? I think I still need, yeah, I definitely still need cortado on the team since I want to farm more coffee. But yeah, it's going to be quite the week. Maybe I should add a ingredient magnet Pokemon, I don't know. And they have 6 plus 6 because they're all fully energized right now. So usually it would just be +1, but because of the event bonus, it is 6. 5 plus 1. Oh, Wigglytuff didn't proc its skill. That is a bummer. But we are now at grade 4, so that's looking good. Let's pick up our rewards. So basic 2 at Topalo, we got the Mawile incense. And let's see what the other goodies are. We got an ingredient ticket, 8k dream shards, Mawile candies. The Mawile candies look like they would taste like licorice because of the packaging. And I've been on like the weird side of the internet where people are indulging in licorice. And I know that there's like black salted licorice. I forget where. Sweden? I don't know. Or is it a Norwegian thing? I don't remember. But I don't find myself much of a licorice fan. But watching them eat licorice just does something and it makes me crave licorice in a weird way. Do you guys like licorice? And I'm not talking about like those red vined licorice. I'm talking about like the black licorice, where it's like herbally, a little bit minty, but not really. So for the weekly goal, I'm able to get a Charmander incense, which is great because I am looking for a Charmander. So wait, was there an incense goal objective? Let's check that real quick so that I make sure I reach all my mission objectives. Yeah, so you have to use your incense 7 times. So let's just plop one out right away so I don't forget. I'm gonna do a recovery incense because that is like just great filler incense to use to reach that objective. And should I do a Mawile or should I do... Actually, yeah, let's do the Mawile. I can't even do the Charmander. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't use it until June 9th. Wait, it is June 9th for me. June 9th, 3 p.m. So I just have to wait a couple hours and then I'll be able to plop that down. But it makes sense so that I don't use it, take a nap, and then get it before the rest of the world. So interesting. I'm in Singapore. In the future, compared to when I was in Canada. Let's pick up our sleep points. Oh my god, look, I have 651. It's so little. And then the general store, let's see what is in store for us today. A Poke Biscuit, that's really good. Alright, so let's do some meal prep planning. I do still need tomatoes, so Maxwell there is good. Cortado for coffee, my Gengar for mushrooms, my Bean Dude for beans. My Gengar also farms herbs, so that's good, but it's gonna take a while to get to 27. Bean sausages I'm okay for now, but eventually I might have to farm for corn and ginger too. So we're definitely going to have to rotate sometime this week. And let's go into the research community tab. This is my iced latte. It's looking so beautiful. The color, I love it like this. Cheers to the event. I hope you guys all do well. So good. A little bit of a lighter roast for those who enjoy a more creamy, milky taste when it comes to coffee, where it's like more like milk of your choice and then coffee instead of like a coffee. I highly recommend the Orafio pod. It's like a biscuity, don't know how to pronounce that word, type of taste that goes really well with soy milk that I have, Malden flaky sea salt, and a dash of cinnamon. And it's so good. I can't wait for cup number 2. And let's get into the sleep report. While we're on the topic of coffee, I descaled my coffee machine because if you have a Nespresso or some sort of coffee machine, you know that you will need to descale it. And for the Nespresso one, they give you like these packets. It's a pink solution. So make sure for you guys who have a Nespresso, once you descale it with the, oh my gosh, Evo Stevo found a shiny Psyduck in Lapis Lakeside, and it's like so well matching with the vibe. It's like so blue. Congrats though. But yeah, after you descale it with the solution, make sure to give it a rinse with clean water, because if you don't, the next time you make your coffee, you're gonna get that residue in there. So thank God I did. I actually rinsed it twice because I noticed that even after the first rinse, there was like still some gunk. And yeah, you know, regular weekly maintenance wiping for the compartment that holds the coffee pod, and then the top part as well that pricks into the coffee pod and pours water in. You gotta clean that. If you find that your coffee is not tasting like fresh, it could be because you haven't cleaned your machine in a while. So yeah, if you are thinking about investing in a coffee machine, you have to know that it comes with regular maintenance. You should be cleaning it once a week to get proper upkeep so you don't get mold growing in there. And in my first job, there was a coffee machine, and I thought, wow, this is so cool. I feel like such an adult, right? But there was a routine I had to learn. We had to, every week, there was a different person on kitchen duty, and we had to clean the coffee machine as well. But one time, someone forgot to clean the coffee machine, so guess what happened? They left the milk out. The next day, someone made their coffee with spoiled milk, and they had to go home because they got a stomach ache. But that is like so gross. I heard that they felt like, the first indicator was they felt chunks, and then they realized how off the coffee tasted because the milk was sour, and just the thought of it is enough to make my stomach feel upset. Speaking of upset stomach as well, 2 weeks ago, I had an issue with my stomach. So I woke up and I had the nastiest migraine I've ever had, probably in my life, to the point where every time I got up, it just was like, it was so painful. My head was pulsing. There was no relief other than when I was laying down. On top of that, I had really strong abdominal pains, and every time I stretched, I would feel it painful there on my right side. So I'm like, oh shoot, did my appendix burst? But then I hear that usually when people's appendixes burst, it's like the worst pain in their life. So I was like, okay, maybe it's not that. And okay, don't be like me. I know I should have gone to the doctor, but growing up in the household, in an Asian household as well, you're probably told to just sleep it off. So yeah, I was just like, you know what, maybe after some sleep and after today, it'll be gone. It wasn't fully gone. The next day I still had my migraine. My abdominal area still hurt. So I was probably bedridden for 2 days. I had to take 2 days off for myself and just lay down because that was the only time I felt relief. And you know, taking Tylenol or Advil as well. Day 3 was when I started feeling better. The migraine was gone. The abdominal pain was still a little bit there. But yeah, I've had some friends tell me that I should definitely go to the doctor. And my boyfriend is pushing for me to go too. So I'm planning to go, as well as making it an opportunity to just get like a yearly checkup, get all my blood work done as well. Make sure everything's looking good. Make sure my hormones are good. And hopefully there isn't anything too serious. Now, a couple days ago, I was feeling like a lot of soreness here. Usually my right side of the body is where I experience a lot of tightness. So I have TMJ on this side, and I noticed that it causes my neck here to feel very sore compared to here. Like if I press here, I feel it sore. But a couple of days ago, Chris found a shiny Crocolore. Not used to saying that one, but the evolved version of White Cocoa one is so cute. I love the color. But congrats, Chris. It's definitely one of the shinies that I would like to find too. But yeah, the pain in my neck is now to my armpit. Like I feel it and it's tender. And it's my lymph node. So I know that my lymph node here is inflamed and here as well. And it's just so annoying. And I tried to see with an ENT if there's like anything connected, and he didn't really seem to take much notice of the fact that my armpit hurts sometimes. So didn't get really any answers from that. Now back at home in Canada, I have seen several doctors to address the armpit thing, but most of them tell me, oh, your lymph nodes are just inflamed, that's normal. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's like the face I make. I'm like, okay, that's so cute. I think that's the first time I've seen a Gengar Ditto too. Oh my god, I love it. It's just so cute. It looks like the face does not belong there. It looks like it's just all face and then legs, ears, and arms, you know? I'm gonna keep it here because it's so cute. But yeah, every now and then, maybe once a month, I feel pain in my right armpit because of the lymph node that gets inflamed, and it gets pretty painful, I'm not gonna lie. But I've seen doctors and they told me it's normal, la da 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 blah blah, and I'm like, are you sure? Because it's kind of happening a lot for my liking. But that never really seems to alarm them. I've done blood tests as well, and I also did like a mammogram, and I think there was a little something there, but it was so benign that the lady told me like, don't worry about it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. But yeah, a couple days ago, it's starting to like get inflamed again, and it's really just painful in my armpit. So that's not fun. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about, the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. I've never felt so much FOMO in my life. So I like to think I've never really taken for granted the fact that I lived in Canada. I loved my time in Canada, grew up there, born and raised, but this time is a time I really feel like I've taken it for granted because the release of the Switch 2 came out and I don't have one. I don't have one, and it's not going to be released here in Singapore until June 26th. I remember when they did the first release video of the console, the website said, I think June to September or something like that. Now we got an official date for people here in Asia, in Singapore. June 26th is the day. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. But then I'm reminded, the lines here in Singapore, absolutely insane. A couple days ago, I tried to get banana pudding matcha from that place I told you guys about last time, okay? Could not do it. The line wait was like 45 minutes, and the line this time was longer than the first time I went. So long that they had to have a second line for you to wait up so that you can get to the main line so that you don't cause any like traffic flow issues. So I'm just dreading for the day that I go pick one up, and I'm not gonna know what the lineup's gonna look like. But seeing how people are crazy with the lines here and they're willing to line up, yeah, I think it's gonna be crazy. Unless I could do some sort of like pre-order option. I don't know, maybe I'll have to look into that. But my little brother got one and I saw it on his Instagram story and I was like, oh my gosh, you got it! And he never really posts much, okay? So he got it and I was like, oh, I was in awe. I was so jealous. He told me he waited like an hour. He didn't need to do pre-order. He went to, I forget, EB Games, or is it called GameStop now? Something games, and he waited just an hour and he was able to get one, and now he's just waiting for his case and cover from like D Brands, I think it's called. They have a really good one. I've binge watched so many of Austin John Plays videos. That man works hard, okay? He has pushed out so much content surrounding the Switch 2, and I watched his video yesterday about all the cases that are currently out so that you know which one is worth getting. So if you are planning on getting the Switch 2 or you're planning on getting a case to protect it, definitely watch that one so you know what is good and what is not. I really appreciate that he even goes to the tiny details of like the stitching of everything. I feel like not much people talk about that or care for things like that, but you know, just like in clothing, when you're buying clothes, you have to check the stitching. If you're gonna buy a case that's going to be protecting your beloved Switch 2 that costs a pretty penny, you want the stitches to be in place too. So yeah, I'm just so jealous, and it's like, how many times can a girl watch an unboxing video of the same thing, you know? But there's just something about it that makes me keep watching it. And maybe it's just like my hyperfixation thing, where when I'm like really focused on something, I like to watch that thing a lot. Like whenever there's a new game release, I like to play the game alongside a stream of another person playing it, maybe like a couple chapters behind me, and I just have so much fun with that. So especially with Pokemon, I would play for a couple hours and then I boot up a stream or a VOD of someone else playing it, and I have background music, I'm playing at the same time, and it's just something I do. I notice I do the same for food, except with food, if I'm really hungry, I torture myself and I watch food videos, and it's gotten to the point where my boyfriend knows when I'm hungry, because sometimes late at night I'll be watching food videos and he's like, you're hungry, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I don't know why you do that to yourself. And I'm like, I don't know why either, but it feels that need for me of like looking at food and feeling like I'm eating too. Kind of like how people watch mukbangs so it feels like you're eating with someone. Yeah, it itches, that need of eating while I'm in bed and I need to go to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning and I'm looking forward to my next meal. But did you guys get the Switch 2? I know that the only real Switch 2 dedicated game right now is the Mario Kart one, and I've been actually hearing a lot of great things about it, so I don't know, maybe that will get me on my Mario Kart kick. I'm very excited that the release date in Singapore is before my trip, my girls trip, so I'm hoping to get my Nintendo Switch 2, do the unboxing, play with it a bit, and then bring it with me on our girls trip, so that on any downtime or like when we're all just hanging out at nighttime, maybe we could play Mario Kart, I don't know. Or maybe I'll just keep it here and not lug around such a huge expensive thing. But yeah, Switch 2, it's super exciting. I'm so happy for everyone that got it, but I'm also so jealous. I just want to touch it, I just want to smell it, and I just want to be able to enjoy it. Bravely Default Switch 2 edition is going to be out. The Tamagotchi game, that is like the one I really want to play. I relive my childhood. I played it on the DS so many times, replayed it. It's just so much fun, and I can't wait to get myself reacquainted with the characters and the music. Like, the music is so good. So I can't wait for that. But let me know where you guys headed for the Packed Portions Cooking Week. Are you aiming for M20, or are you just trying to like get through the event? For me, I would say my first priority is probably catching a Mawile, although that might take some time. I think it's a 16-pip Pokemon. And we will see whether or not I get M20. I feel like I will, but we will really just have to see. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, and consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it every time you do. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, take care, good luck, and have fun. Bye.